Okie dokie, so another installment of the life of me. Uh, Not that it's terribly important to the vast majority of people, but, I still feel like throwing my 2 cents out there once in a blue moon. So anyway, I have a habit of either committing myself to hours of mind-numbing searches for nothing in particular on either Tumblr or Pinterest, which, I mean, they're cool websites. It's just, don't get me wrong, it's just, you have no idea what life is like because you get sucked in for hours. You're like, oh, ooh, this is cool. Ooh, this is cool. Ooh, this is cool. And it just continues. Those internet memes that are like, one more chapter, one more page, one more fanfic. It's never just one more. It's like Pringles. It's never just one more. It's a lie. Anyway, I had to make a little short video because I've been on Pinterest for like probably the better half of the last 2 hours, and actually it's been almost exactly 2 hours since I got on Pinterest. And yes, I actually spent quite a large portion of that time looking through Tom Hiddleston things. And I'm telling you, that man is my spirit animal. He's so adorable. Of all the things that have made it out into the realm of internet, those things that have actually gotten there make him seem to be the most genuinely, hilariously funny, and just all around chill kind of people. But I mean, I feel like not just him, but all of the other people who have worked in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're all seemingly quite chill people. So, I feel like one of those sort of, you always kind of fantasize, like, what would it be like? Those kinds of days where you might fantasize about what it would be like to hang out with any of these people. Totally feel like this would be one of those things, the scene's over, they wrap for the day and they're like, yeah, let's go get a coffee. Let's go find some shawarma. Something like that. It just strikes me as the kind of normalcy for them. They're like, or, let's go walk in the park or something. It's like completely romantic kind of novelty activity, if that's what they all go do. That kind of thing. But I don't know, I just feel like most of the movies I've seen of, the cinematic universe, and then interviews and, subsequent materials that have come out with these people involved, it just seems like that entire group is just the most chill group of people. But I mean, it's kind of the same truth for a lot of the different actors and actresses I've always kind of, sort of idolized ever since I was little. Like, sometimes just seeing interviews with them and they just seem like the coolest people. And I feel like it would be kind of cool, actually, in total seriousness, in reality, to actually get a chance to hang out with them. Because, I think on some level, once you get to be a certain level of famous, you can kind of do whatever the hell you want. But I think on some level, it still might actually be a reality for actors and actresses, that it would actually kind of be cool to hang out with just regular people because, they are still regular people. They just happen to be much more broadly well known as opposed to the rest of us, But I feel like that would actually be really cool. Like, have some kind of, weird, discreet service where, it's just normal people who sign up to go hang out with famous people so that, like, they don't feel isolated. Because sometimes I feel like what occasionally will happen to famous people is they get so famous that they can't really go out in public because they're just swamped immediately with the crazy fan base. And I'm not saying that I would not have, like, a serious, like, moment. But I try to keep that in mind, like even in my fantasy kind of thing. If I ever had the opportunity to hang out with these kind of people, I feel like that would still be running in the back of my head, like, all right, dial it back, gotta chill, because they're still just normal people. It's like, don't freak them out. Like, if you're actually going to do anything successfully by hanging out with these people, sitting there like just TV test screen across your face, that's not going to be that's not going to be a good first impression. So, uh, but yeah, I've definitely had those moments where I kind of like, what would it be like, kind of thought run through my head. But I actually had this scenario of like meeting Tom Hiddleston randomly on like a metro train, and all I could think about, and it, probably would try to adopt the same approach to like any famous person if I ever saw them on the public transit or something. Just walk up to them and be like, you know what, I'm not gonna bother you for long. I just wanted to say hi, and that I respect you, and just you make my day when I watch your movies because you're just that awesome. So I just wanted to say hi and say thanks for being an awesome human. And I'm gonna go sit over here now. But the other thing I was like looking at on the Pinterest was apparently Tom Hiddleston is a big hugger. And I'm like, yes, let's do that again. I want a hug. Give me another hug. Like, let's just pretend that this never actually started and or stopped. It's just this long, forever hug. We're not going to make it awkward. We're just going to have a forever hug. Because hugs are great. It's like, yes. And then like make it super god-awful awkward. Like, it would be really bad. It would be really funny, but it would be really bad. Like, okay, no. Like, don't do this anymore. But, I don't know. The things that run through my head sometimes, I'm just saying. I don't really know. Beyond that I was just looking at some random Avengers stuff. But one of them was kind of funny. Like, there's a couple of different ones. There was like a couple of sad ones with Tom Hiddleston as Loki, and then there was like a funny one that I saw, and it's the one that stuck in my head. It was a scene, behind the scenes, like, photo that had surfaced from Captain America Winter Soldier. And Chris Evans had apparently just fallen over, amidst all the cars and that particular scene where they're fighting in the city with the bus and all that. And, Bucky hasn't quite still remembered who he is. And it's just sheer silly picture, but Chris Evans has like fallen over, his feet are way up in the air. And he said something to the effect of emergency vehicle sounds in the background. It's like, and Tony says, call an ambulance. A senior citizen down. It's like, it's not funny, but it is funny. It's just, that was amusing, and I cackled really hard at it, but it's so bad, but it's so funny. And the other one, I had never seen this, like, aside from watching Tom Hiddleston, like, cry as a character, I'd never seen this. There was some kind of interview that had been done during the Thor: The Dark World, and apparently one of the interviewers had said something to him, and it's made him start to cry, and I'm like, huh. And even the interviewer, like, the subtitles of what he was saying, it's like, no, I'm sorry, and I didn't mean it, like, don't cry. And I was like, oh my gosh, no. And even just reading it, I was just like, no. Like, this cannot be happening. Tom Hiddleston should not cry. Like, let him be Loki forever. But it was like, oh, it was really cute. Because, I mean, it's cool. It's one of the biggest things that kind of, happened to him in his early filming career, because he'd done other stuff, obviously. He was in War Horse and a handful of other things. But I mean, like, in the pop culture sort of what put him on the map. It was being in Thor. And, I can imagine being that closely tied to, the franchise itself, but I mean, it boils more down to being tied to all those people, having worked with them for that many years. Yeah, it would probably make you really, really emotional and be like, hey, I don't want it to end. It's like, don't do that, don't do that, do not make the Hiddles cry. But, just more evidence to Tom Hiddleston being just a super cute little marshmallow of a person. And I can't imagine. I can imagine he's not always marshmallow. I can imagine like some days he actually gets pissed because he looks like he would probably be somewhat intimidating if he was actually mad. But I definitely, I like the fact that he's always so happy because, it sounds cheesy following all of that, but one of my, like, truly, real, this is, like, I'm not making it up, this is, like, actually a philosophy I follow, is, like, this is kind of how I approach every day. I want to be that experience, not just the person, but the experience somebody has that makes their day better, and I really do try to keep that in my head every single day. I don't, because I've been on the receiving end of the kind of people who would be the opposite of that. So what I was about to say is I don't want to be that one thing that causes somebody to just have the worst day ever. Even if by accident, I don't want to do that. That would make me feel really, really, truly bad. And I've always felt bad when I've let somebody down or if I've done something that disappointed somebody to that kind of extent. So I've always kind of tried to keep that philosophy in the back of my head every day, getting up and going out and doing my jobs and stuff. I don't want to be that straw that breaks the camel's back to somebody I come across. Like, I don't want to be that kind of negative influence on their day where it's just that was all it took to just absolutely ruin the day for them. Because I've been on the receiving end of that kind of negativity. It's true. Like, I've had a number of experiences over the course of my life that, it just about ruined my day because people were just so rude, so condescending, so just straight up not nice. Like, they were just straight up mean. And I just got really tired of having to deal with that. So, I mean, in my response with it, like, I grew up with that whole kill them with kindness thing. So, anywho, that's why one of the big reasons I say is Tom Hiddleston is my spirit animal, because I love him to death because he's so freaking cute. The nice things that he's done, just, here and there, and the things he really gets behind and he's very passionate about make him all the more attractive as just a nice person because he genuinely cares. Anyway, so not exactly a rant or anything like that, but just kind of my personal thoughts on Tom Hiddleston being an adorable little cinnamon bun. And there was something else I was going to connect to that, but I forgot what it was. I pretty much just had Tom Hiddleston on the brain apparently for several minutes, but yeah, anywho, that's my 2 cents worth of why Tom Hiddleston is just an awesome human being. And, same goes for the rest of the cast and crew, group of people who've worked on the Marvel movies. Because, I mean, how could you have made such amazing movies if you weren't all, like, some level of awesome? Just say it. Now, I mean, they're probably going to get a couple of haters who are like, this movie was terrible and that movie was terrible. It's like, you know what? That's fine. That's still, like I've said in previous videos here and there, like, you're entitled to your opinion. That's what you like to think, but I'm also entitled to my opinion, and I think that all the movies were pretty good. But yeah, anywho, that was pretty much it. thoughts for the day. Catch you later.